material for the book. After each call, or I should say after those calls, I would go out and interview them to fill in the details that Trump was incapable of providing to me himself. And it was in these conversations that I realized I couldn't take anything that Trump told me at face value. The accounts of these others often directly contradicted Trump's, and often they casually shared documents with me that supported what they were saying. I was concerned, but I rationalized that I was writing a book for hire. It wasn't meant to be my version of events, or even an objective account. This was his story, and he was sticking to it, even in the face of the most undeniable evidence to the contrary. More than any human being I have ever met, Trump has the ability to convince himself that whatever he's saying at any given moment is true, or sort of true, or at least ought to be true. To this day, lying is second nature to him, just one more way to gain advantage. If he was challenged about his facts, he doubled down. Still does it today. Trump does not admit to being wrong. He just keeps huffing and puffing till he blows you down. Often the lies he told were about money, how much he had paid for something, or what a building he owned was worth, or how much one of his casinos was earning, even when they were on the verge of bankruptcy. I wrestled with how to tell stories that I knew included inaccuracies, and eventually I came up with this sentence aimed at covering all potential untruths. Quote, "People want to believe that something is the biggest and the greatest and the most spectacular. It's called truthful hyperbole. It's an innocent form of exaggeration and a very effective form of promotion. It's also insane. There is no such thing as truthful hyperbole. Hyperbole is untruthful." But it was charming, and we got away with it. In the end, I created a character in Trump far more winning than he actually is. I never found him winning, or especially intelligent, or particularly interesting, but he was undeniably an effective self-promoter, and that book went on to be a #1 bestseller around the world. What I did figure out in the course of doing that book was how to transmute his voice in ways that allowed him to come off not as cynical and one-dimensional, which he was, but rather to be kind of boyish and ingenuous and even charming. Here, for example, is how I had Trump introduce himself.